Good morning, everybody. It is a Savagestacker. All right, so I got a couple questions. First and foremost, I want to tell everybody thank you for coming by my YouTube channel and checking out all the goodies and all the shiny and the beautiful precious metals we got laid out here on the table. And if you wouldn't mind, go down there and hit that subscribe button, hit the thumbs up, all that good stuff. It really helps out. All right, so I've been getting some questions lately, quite a bit. A couple strong comments by people talking about, stacking gold versus silver and why you shouldn't stack one or the other. And a couple strong comments like, do not stack silver. Gold is the ultimate. You should only stack gold. You guys are going to regret it. And all these different things. And I even told the guy in there, I said, you know what, you gave me a good video. So we're going to break this down a little bit, Savagestacker style. We're going to freestyle this thing. I don't have nothing written down, unscripted, all that good stuff. So, yeah, I have a different camera angle here. I have a light set up. I have this whole little media thing going on that I've had, but I don't like its angle, and the lighting is usually weird, so I don't use this. But my other tripod, it broke, and I usually do a top-down view, and so the setup of this is weird, and I'm having a hard time getting it where things look, shiny, what I mean? So it's just a different setup, and I'll get it back to normal sooner or later. Let me know what you think on how this is set up. I know my lighting completely sucks. All right, so let's look at the difference between gold and silver as like a monetary metals, and why you should stack one versus the other, or diversify your stack and stack both, which is what I like to do. Now, personally, I don't want to give out no advice on this channel, and I'm not a financial advisor, so make up your own decisions in your own mind on how you want to stack if you're into stacking. So a little background is I started stacking to save money. That's how it started. That's what it was for. It was for nothing else but that. It was to basically stop myself from spending money. I wanted to park it somewhere, and I didn't want to park it in something, like in the stock market or anything like that, because I didn't want to have to watch it or worry about it. And so I just wanted to keep what I had. I wasn't looking to make any money. I wasn't trying to invest. I was just trying to save what I had and stop myself from spending my money. And that's where this started. So, and it works very well for that. Both metals work very well for that. You will always be able to go down and get money for silver. You will always be able to go down and get money for gold if you need cash on hand. Now, I don't plan on selling no metals for a little while. Well, that's not true. I almost sold some silver yesterday until it pulled back almost $1, and then I didn't do it. And the reason why is I was going to use that money for something, and if it goes back up to 25, I just might go sell 100 ounces of silver and buy half ounce of gold and use the other remainder of that money for something that I need for the family. But both metals work very well for saving money, and the only problem with that is the premiums right now. So the premiums will catch you up. If you plan on needing to use that money in the near future, that I wouldn't park it in gold or silver, because you're going to end up losing money on premiums. Now, over time, you will probably make money on that, or a little bit, or at least break even on those premiums. But it takes a few years to catch up with inflation on both metals. Now, silver, it's a little bit more speculative. It will fluctuate a lot more, and in some instances, it's a little less liquid. Not all, just some. And what I mean is, if I went in there with 5,000 ounces of silver and wanted to sell that, usually a coin shop or wherever doesn't want to tie up all their money into one product. That's because they have people coming in looking for gold, looking for silver, looking for platinum or whatever. And so I try to diversify myself as far as sizes of coins, rounds, bars, and I try to diversify myself in what type of metals I have. Now, I know I'm going to have somebody come on here and be like, what about platinum? What about platinum? But I don't really stack a lot of platinum, and that's just because throughout history, it just hasn't been a monetary metal, and these two here have. And most coin shops will always buy silver and gold, and they don't like to buy a lot of platinum because not a lot of people are looking for it. And I always like to make sure that I buy things that are liquid and fluid, that will definitely sell whatever I need to sell them. All right, with that being said, let's dive into the gold part here. So gold, it's been a monetary metal for a very long time. It's always pretty much been tradable and used for money. And that goes back thousands of years. And the one thing about gold is it's the ultimate, the number one monetary metal out there out of all the metals. That's basically what it's used for. It's got its own color. It's got its own weight. It's very, very flexible. You can something like a mile or 3 miles, a little hair strand of gold just stretches out that far. I mean, you can really do a lot with it. It's very versatile. And there's not much out there that looks like gold. I mean, you can get copper, but it doesn't really look like gold. So it's very unique. It does not corrode, and that is one of the reasons why it is what it is because it doesn't corrode at all. You could be in the ocean for 100 years and you're going to pull it out and it's lost no weight, and it might get little crustaceans on it or something, but it's just going to be, it might lose a little shine, but it's still going to be gold. And with silver, it does have a little bit of corrosion. It does corrode a little bit. It tones up, and that toning is a type of corrosion. It can lose some weight, but it takes a very long time to do so. But the good thing about silver is it is microbial. It works in a lot of different areas. It works for electricity. It's the most conductive metal out there, the most reflective metal out there. It holds heat. It's used for so many applications, so it will always be needed. And the cool thing about silver is the potential for growth out there currently is huge. It can double. It could double. I mean, you could see $50 silver at any day. It could happen. And I'm not saying you'll see $100 or $200 or $500 or $1,000 silver, but it could double. And with gold right now, gold is kind of at the top of its, it's at its top. It's at its peak of its all-time high. And that tells me that we are in a high super inflationatory society right now. If gold is up at its highs and it's teetering back and forth like it has been the last couple of years, that tells me that we are in the midst of inflation. And silver, it bounces around. It's a little more, it's way more volatile. So, but when we see silver rise, I think we're going to see it take off to actually make it where it's almost an investment. But I'm not purchasing silver as an investment, but you could make some money or dividends on silver. It could happen. That's not why I buy it. It's not why I've invested in it. And I just invested in it as a savings account, but the potential for it to make some money is there. And that's why a lot of people, especially in this community, especially the hardcore stackers, always are telling me constantly, oh, silver's going to go up. Silver's the one. It's going to do its thing. Like, just wait, just watch. And I have an equal amount of people going, silver is so speculative, you're going to regret buying it. There's too much of it in the earth. They'll always be around. There's no shortage of it. Buy only gold. Buy gold. It's drying up. And I'll tell you right now, with gold, it is drying up, but I can go and find gold right now out in a number of rivers and creeks and mountainsides, and I do not know where to find any silver. So it is available. I wouldn't say it's completely drying up. There is less of it, or the easy stuff has been found. So what is the better metal to purchase? For me, it is important to diversify, to buy both, even some platinum. And right now, the price of palladium has gone down significantly. That might even be a good place to park some money is in palladium. But they're not very popular, and I don't know any local coin shop that's going to take a mass quantity of palladium. Let me drink some coffee. My mouth's getting dry. Hold on. So the reason why I diversify is because I want it to be liquid when I need it. If I go into an LCS, like I was talking about earlier, with 100 ounces of gold, chances are he is going to try to buy all of it. All of it. He's going to try to find a way to come up with the money to get it all, because he knows it will resell. Gold always resells. It sells very, very well. And if I go in there with no gold and equal in value of silver, 5,000, 10,000 ounces, whatever, he's not going to want to take all that. He's not going to go fight to find the money. He's not going to go get a partner to help try to buy it all at that moment. He knows more will be in, and he'll tell you to come back at a later date when he has more money or something like that. But the gold, if you have a large amount of gold and you're trying to sell it, most likely he will try to get it all, because it's that liquid. It sells itself. The LCSs will buy it all. And I've gone in there and sold, I think it was like 500 ounces of silver, and he's like, hey, do you got any gold? Because I don't want to wrap up all my purchasing power right now into silver. And I'm all, I do. Actually, I need 20 and 20, right? I need 20 grand and sell some silver, and 20 grand selling some gold. And he's like, okay, cool, I can do that. And if I would have had 40 all in 40K all in silver, I don't think he would have purchased it all. I think he would have just stayed with the 20 grand and been like, hey, can you sell some gold too, or come back at a later date once I sell all this stuff. And for me, that's a huge sign that gold is way more popular. It sells way better, and there is a reason why banks, countries, governments hold gold. Now, they will tell you that it's not important, or you don't want to hold it or stack it. You want to invest in all these things because that's how they make money. Everybody gets their cut. And the more you buy gold and silver, there's less money out there in the economy, so they're never going to push that on you. But trust and believe, if gold pulls back, they buy thousands of tons of it. And that goes to show me that gold is probably the most important thing to have out of the two metals. But I like to diversify. I love stacking silver. I love the different bars. I love that I can get vintage. I can get old coins, right? And to me, if SHTF ever happens, which we are closer now than we ever have before, this is like the $100 bills, and this is like the change, right? These are the $20 bills. It's the change to it. Back in the 1800s, they had little $5 gold pieces and then dollar, Morgans, and that's what they did. Here's $5, $6, $7, $8, right? You had your $5, $10, $15, and $20 bills, and then you got your $1 bills, your 50-cent pieces, and things like that. And to me, it's like the change in the big bills, right? So to me, that's kind of how that is for me if we ever had a barter with it. So I think it's good to have both. Now with bars, kind of, it's kind of hard to chip that away and call that some change. If you need a barter with that, you can't go buy bread, and then I guess you could shave some off, but they're not going to want that, because they're not going to, if you cut that corner off and gave it to somebody, the next person they try to trade it with might not know what that is. And that's why I like to stack, the halves, the dimes, the quarters, and, for change. And I don't only stack for SHTF, but I stack for that and for saving and for all of the above. I stack for many, 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 many reasons. And it has changed over the course of the last 4 years of why I stack. And so, long story long here, I think it's important to diversify and buy both. If you want to be more speculative and buy silver, and hope that it actually makes you some money in the long term, then, you know, I would go with silver. If you just want to save your money and it be a true hedge against inflation, because this is a little more, you know, volatile, so it might not hedge as well. I think that you should probably park it in gold. That's just a simple fact for that, and that's just, yeah, that's how I think of it right there. And there's probably a lot more I could add to this video here, but it's already 15 minutes in, and I don't want to sit here and ramble on for 35 minutes on a video. So let's just look at some stuff we got here. So for me, I would diversify, and I also want to, you know, I'm playing the GSR, the gold to silver ratio. When it's up, when it's high, when it's 100 ounces of silver to 1 ounce of gold, I buy more silver. If it's down like 60 to 1, 65 to 1, I buy more gold. And that extra silver that I have, I will trade it for gold, and I actually end up getting to basically stack 40 ounces or 35 ounces for free. And I had a guy come by saying it doesn't work. You don't make nothing on it. You might as well just invest in, you know, in investments. And the thing is it does work. I have done it, and it does work. You know, some people get caught with a lot of silver at a high price, and they sell it at a loss, and they get discouraged. And instead of, you know, cost averaging out their stack, and they get burnt by the stacking process because they bought it the wrong time, had FOMO or something, and then they hate on it because they get upset because it didn't work out for them when they should have just held on to it or just sold a little bit, and they probably would have evened out or just done just fine. So don't overdo it, and don't sell too early. You know, surely don't sell at a loss unless you really, really have to. But I play the GSR. It works. It has worked for me, and I've been able to add a little extra silver to the stack basically for free in the past, and I plan on doing it again. I backed up the truck back in September, September, and when silver came down to like $17.80, $18.80, I was buying silver for $20, $21 an ounce. And, you know, even now, if I sold this stuff, I would be making $4 an ounce on this already, right? So the potential there is there. Now, the premiums suck on silver right now. The, you know, premium is on gold, especially the American gold. It is coming down a little bit, but for a while there, it really sucked. So you do got to watch the premiums, because those can beat you up over time. That is basically money lost if you don't know how to do it right. So let's look at this right here. So there's no definitive answer to this question. Personally, I think gold is a better hedge against inflation overall. I will always prefer to have more gold in my stack. That's not going to mean that I'm going to not buy silver. Come on, focus. It's going to slide out of my hand, and I'm really going to get upset. I play with this thing, so it gets scratched up, but there's nothing better than holding a nice chunk 1 ounce nugget in your hand, especially so small, because it just feels so heavy. The density of gold is just insane. I love it. So I prefer gold. If I had to choose one, I would choose gold over silver. That's just me, and it doesn't mean we don't have to get along because I said that. I know some of you out there are very strong feelings towards silver, and it's like all of a sudden got to be an argument or something. It doesn't have to be an argument. If you prefer silver, go for it. I love silver. If you prefer gold, go for it. I love gold. I wouldn't want to just stick to one or the other. Did my light just shut off? It did. Wow. That thing was fully charged not 20 minutes ago. I like to buy both, but if I had to choose, I would choose gold over silver. I love silver because it's so many varieties of fun things to stack, and it's pretty awesome stuff. And there's a lot more uses for silver. But if I had to choose one, I would choose gold. But I don't have to choose one, so I stack them both. So there it is there. All right, thank you everybody for coming by. It is a Savagestacker. Remember to hit that bell icon to get updated on my latest videos. Please rate, comment, and subscribe. The Savagestacker is over and out.